What if entrepreneur top practices and all the resources that successful entrepreneurs get were available to you, were available to anybody? There are certain qualities and characteristics of people who are willing and able and do take action to go their own way. These approaches are the opposite of what's taught in society. They are absolutely completely different from how normal people are expected to behave, and people who get a job in a hierarchy and follow the rules of the society, and in return for following the rules, get security, safety, and a respected, accepted position in the society. As all these hierarchies are breaking down for many people, as AI is eliminating jobs in the same way that automation technologies, globalization, and outsourcing eliminated a lot of blue collar kind of jobs, as well as entry opportunities into the society, such as small business ownership, retail stores, and local pharmacies, uh, physician practices that anchored small towns, local banks, uh, and in a lot of places in the world, in the United States in particular, it's gone, and it's declining in frequency and in power. And there's a feeling among many of us, let's call it most people, that we've got to find it. We've got to figure it out for ourselves. And there's a feeling of we're on our own. I don't feel that way. And I am easily able to adapt to change. And I have been my entire life. I have never not had constant change. I have never had a real career, a real job, and I'm not good at anything that allows me to be employable within a structure or a system, because no matter how good I am at the thing I'm doing, I don't fit into the processes and culture of a company. I can't do it, don't want to do it, despite trying often for years even to try to fit into that, and I can't. How do you thrive in this time of change if you're not used to it? And embrace uncertainty like people like I do and like entrepreneurs do. It's a different way of being wired. I have the ability, and have always had it, to deal with massive uncertainty and risk. And it's not about forcing success as much as it is being in my imagination and being able to look ahead and say, I know my success is inevitable because I'm on the wave of change. I'm surfing the big wave of change. And I know that if I just keep going, I'll succeed. And I've done it over and over and over and over and over again. And it's been really hard. It's been really hard. It's never been easy. And I've craved stability and wanted certainty and wanted stable income, and I've never had it. Despite that, I keep going into the next thing, and I never in my entire life have taken the secure route, compromised on my vision or my purpose or my passion for money, security, or status. Here's what's different today. This is available to everyone on the planet, and it's mainstreaming right now. I can see it because this is where I live. I live in the future. I live in what's next, firmly anchored in the present, in my breath, in the moment. And I feel the creative energy of life flowing through me, and it's intelligent. And it drives my daily thoughts, actions, and supports me upon impact and friction when it's obvious to me. People are looking at me thinking, "What the hell is he doing? What is he talking about? I never heard of him. He's not famous. He doesn't have billions." That's the challenge. And you don't anymore have to go this alone. That's the big shift. That's the big shift. The big shift is regular business owners, service company providers, and entrepreneurs that are able to grasp some of this vision orientation, but maybe haven't mastered it in the same way that we have, not just me, we, and are able to be on this road less traveled, live on the razor's edge, which is what it is. And what it is really, if you think about it, is real life and the fundamentals of liberation mechanics, which is this idea that I've been thinking about over a lifetime of what's real and what's not real, and what are the fundamental laws of creation and principles that can anchor life and business success. And what are the mechanisms that are simple, easy to understand, and easy to execute on that people can use? So you can do this too. And we're at a moment in history where it must happen. And it's not a movement I have created. That never happens. That's not how creative energy works. Creative energy rolls into the world in waves, and it all is consistent. It's unbreakable, and it is connected into everything that exists. It can't be fought. It is impossible to run backwards into the past and fight evolution. As evolution expands and we're moving in a different direction now, whether you like it or not, if you turn your back and you go back and you're trying to capture an old way of doing business, there's going to be a pain and suffering in that beyond anything you've potentially ever experienced before. The secret weapon that leads to greatness is not to only tolerate, but love not knowing what will happen next in your life, market, and business or business. This is almost impossible to get overnight. It's impossible. And if you've been self-employed for a long time, you're trying to figure out how to evolve your business, you've been in CEO groups, or you've been in support groups or various kinds of groups, or you're an entrepreneur doing the incubator route looking for funding, or you're trying to get better clients for your service business and you're learning all of these business skills, you're not going to evolve into the next level. And there's things now that must be pulled together to make this happen. And there's reasons for this. There's reasons. This is not just happening randomly. Not at all. There's a design behind this. Think of a magnet, big magnet underneath everything in the world that's happening, ordering it. And you connecting into that magnet. And from there, creating a business environment for yourself that's easier. That's what's next. The days of work being overwhelmingly hard, the days of having to force results, and the days of going it alone are over. It doesn't work. Every single top entrepreneur who has ever existed in history of humanity already knows that. They found a way to bring together somehow organically, not through force, but through connecting themselves with allies to do their thing. The difference between those who make it all the way through and those who suffer, often destroying their families, don't realize their potential regardless of how successful whatever they've done is in the world, and feel a sense of something missing at the end, is the difference between organic growth and forced results. Separating this secret weapon that leads to greatness, meaning to be able to tolerate not knowing, to be able to thrive in the time of change and embrace uncertainty, separates those who love their vision, company, and life experience and actually get that to happen. The pathway to success remains the opposite of what has been taught and has been believed is a mutable truth in the modern success culture. It's not true. Never has been. It is possible now for any human being to make a decision to get what you want in your life. The pathway through any kind of self-employment, whether you own a retail store, whether you own a construction company, whether you own a AI um, software innovation laboratory, it doesn't matter what the self-employment pathway is. When you adopt the kinds of things, principles that I'm talking about, you'll have a real life. That's the difference. And the definition of what a real life is that you're the only one who can decide that. And this is the split. The society's split. It's splitting. And it's splitting between those who are able to embrace what they don't know is going to happen next, because inner vision emerges from your imagination. We all know that. Anybody who's ever done anything hard already knows this, because this is how we live. And some people don't understand how it works, and some people force it, but this is how we live. We live in uncertainty on the edge. And the rest of the society can do this now. It can democratize. I know it can, because I've done it. Done it. And the democratization requires allies, and always has. And it also requires personal acceleration methods. There is an inner piece to this. You don't have to become a monk, and you don't have to do all this really hard inner work. It's not like that. It's personal acceleration, where you're getting into your vision and the purpose is buried in the vision. It comes out, and there's some kind of a barrier to it that you've got to overcome, and directly. And that's it. It's that simple. And underneath that is all the resources that are ever needed to do the thing you need to do. And it'll be right, and you'll know it. Nobody can tell you. You'll know, and your success will be inevitable because you have all the resources and action opportunities that you need to succeed. The action in the world separates those who succeed from those who die, sometimes with unfulfilled potential in their imagination, with all the creative ideas flowing, the connection, the whole thing working, but they cannot get in the market and take action. They cannot handle the friction in the market or build the business traction skills that are necessary in the modern economy. That's part of it. That's part of it. It's got to work together. This is the big change. Personal acceleration plus business traction methods equals a life well lived, where you can pay your own way and get what you want. Or you can copy somebody else and do whatever it takes to push a big boulder uphill to get billions and millions and millions and millions and billions. It just doesn't work. And staying in your business and suffering in the business is completely unnecessary. Everything that we're doing on the entrepreneur experience, company, corporation, is about facilitating this process. And the workshops that we put together and are launching is the easiest pathway in to going faster and learning what you need to know to be able to do this and live this lifestyle. And all of a sudden, everything will change because you'll have more business skills, better business traction because you did some personal acceleration work. Our society split these things. I've spent years of personal growth work on weekends, retreats, shadow work. I could go on and on. Every time I see something, I tried it and it worked. The integration of that with business traction is where the power is because somehow this has got to be pulled into the marketplace using all these modern technologies and approaches now, which are the opportunity is unlimited because it's all so cheap. The technology's done. You do not have to be a genius anymore. That's the big change. Back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s, early, you had to be the analytical prowess that was required to succeed in an original way was just off the charts. It was the province of genius in the sense of genius being defined as I can think smarter and faster and better than everybody else. And I think we're past that world. It still exists. I mean, you still have that minority of people that are like that, top 1%. Um, but what's more important is what's your genius and how do you bring it out? There's really 5 simple steps to just think about this or stages. I could slice this a million ways. I could talk about this for 15 hours, but I won't. Notice where the market is going, not what you need to do to be more productive. This is not about being more productive. Productivity is important, but productivity happens automatically when you're connected to your purpose, vision, and passion, and have business skills through business traction, so you're not overwhelmed by all the complexity anymore. That's the problem. People are trying to solve a productivity problem. You don't have a productivity problem. We have a complexity problem. Too many choices that aren't curated, not enough expertise. The top people in the world don't have this problem. They just pay for it. And they're able to attract people who know what they're doing because they want to get paid a lot. This is what we've created. We've created that environment. However, noticing where the market is going, not the marketing, where the market is going is part of the work. And that's part of my job is helping people do that part. But you've got to decide where you want to be and where you want to place the company. Notice where the market is going. Um, I mean, it's Wayne Gretzky stuff from years ago, skate where the puck's going, not where it is. Most people are looking at where it is and trying to be more productive where they are. That's not going to work. You'll get more productive and nothing will change. You'll still be suffering inside your business. Decide to surf the wave that's coming closer to shore rather than get stuck in the crowd. There's a timing thing here. Some of us are out in the middle of the ocean. I've been there a lot, but I don't stay there very long because I'll drown. If I had a million billions and billions, if I had billions and billions, I could stay out in the middle of the ocean, do whatever I wanted, but I wouldn't. I'd still go close to shore because I'm in the world and I want to be a part of it. Decide. It's a decision. Surf the wave that's coming closer to shore. You see it. And if you can't see it, we'll help you see it. I can see them all. I can see them immediately. It's what I do. It's easy for me. And then it's a matter of just talking it through so you can see it too. And then you take it. You take it. And you need some help getting on the surfboard and getting balanced. And we know how to do this. We've been doing it for a long time. Every single person in my group has gone through massive pain over many years and knows how to do this in their own way. And you have to find it in your own way. It's not copy us because you can't. Your purpose is yours. Your passion is yours. Your vision is yours to find. And the barriers and the blocks are yours too. So it's about mastery. On our side, it's about mastery. No form. Don't need a form. I don't need a form to teach people. I don't need a signature method to teach people. I can see through all the confusion because I've done it for so long. It's not confusing to me. So I can help other people see it, and so can other people in our group. Every single person in our group has some specialty where I realize, like, you're not taking people through the 5 checklist, signature method steps that have been put together in, like, a marketing package. You're not doing that. I can't have people that are like that. It won't work. They gotta see because the other people who are coming in don't, and I know a lot about business. I know a lot. I've had a bunch of businesses. I know the different structures, but I got help in our group on what business structure should I put together for this new thing and how should it work and the legal stuff. And it's very complex. Same with brand, same with business development. I've been doing business development my whole life. Same with networking. I'm still getting help there because when I'm talking to some people who are masters of it, it's a different thought process. And I elevate into that thought process no matter how good I am at it. What I'm good at is um, building up business structures that flex with change based on purpose. That's my specialty. I see it immediately and knowing where to put it in the market. But then I get help from other people to support the execution. People have mindset issues. We got people who help with that. Money prosperity issues. We got somebody who helps with that. Energy blocks. Somebody who helps with that. Being able to connect deeper to themselves and so they can have better relationships with people and deal with technology. We got help with that. I can go on and on and on and on, as well as experts in things like strategic planning and content creation and execution and supporting all those things. If you don't have a team helping you, you're going to drown. No matter how simplified you get everything, because there's just too much to have to do, and even to figure out what to do is even hard. But then, even if you know, it's still hard to execute. Realize that your high quality thoughts, emotions, and energy lead to market success. Market success does not just come because you're good at business. Market success comes for the 99%. Top 1%, it's different. They just have a talent. There's just some innate ability some people have through the way their brain works. Um, to just be able to figure out and master the domain of the market and the experience. That's not common. It's rare. Democratization comes from knowing your high quality thoughts, emotions, and energy will lead to market success for you because that's how life works. That's how the laws work. That's how the organizing principles and structures of creation work. What I think about is what happens, turns up in my life. The emotions I feel lead to acceleration and expansion. When I open up energy that's locked in my body or stuck in old belief systems that is keeping me separated from the market, I don't do very well. And there's a lot of pressure around that. The kinds of people who just naturally are able to work through that and get through it are rare. It's not going to work. We can't reclaim a society with a top 1% prime mover crowd that just does everything and then somehow lifts everybody else up. And frankly, none of them, not none of them, but a lot of them don't even care anyways if they're helping other people because they're more interested in their inner circles. Now that's not always true. Um, but um, micro businesses are great. You get a business that does 40, 50 grand a month. You get a business that does $1 million a month. That's still a micro business. That's a great life, unless you drown in the business. So it's not about work-life balance. It's not even that. That happens automatically. It's about realizing that your high quality thoughts, emotions, and energy lead to market success and knowing how to execute on that every day and rebuild those habits. We know how to do that. We can facilitate it. You'll be able to do it in 8 weeks for sure in these workshops, but we want people to stick around if they want for 12 months because then you have real serious impactful permanent change. Whatever that means for you. There's no definition of that. It's your definition. The cool thing today is there's so many options. Focus on the fact that you have a great product, company, and care about people. That's enough. So many people on social media are teaching client acquisition as if that's like a company, and they're not focusing on their product or their company or care about people. Because if all you're doing is funneling people into a funnel and they go out the back of the funnel and then they get to make a funnel to have more clients so they can make money at the expense of the 98%, 99% of the people who don't ever join or can't afford their high-end mastermind group, that means you don't care about people. You say you do, but what's the impact of what you're doing? You have to elevate your product. How do you elevate a product today? See, people sit around the table together. That's how they do it in personal development weekends. The leader doesn't stand up on a stage and talk at people for 5 hours, for 3 days, and then they get energized, and then they go home and their life changes. That's an old method. It doesn't work. You already have it. You already have a great product company and care about people. That's all you need. Focus there. Focus there. And if your product needs improvement, it will. If your company needs improvement and your ability to care about people needs improvement because you're drowning in yourself and your own pain, that'll happen. The group supports that. It's impossible to fail if you allow yourself to be lifted up by a group of people who are succeeding by going in the right direction. You don't need to be hanging out with the after crowd. In other words, those who are showing you what their success is to get you to come to their events or buy their programs or follow them. You don't need it. You don't need it. Focus on yourself as an equal at the table. Engage the people who lift you up more than trying to keep up with market trends. I said notice where the market is going. I didn't say keep up with market trends. It's the opposite. Professional businesses are trying to keep up with market trends. They don't have a choice because of the way they're funded. You don't have to do that if you're self-employed. If you're self-employed and you're trying to keep up with market trends, you're going to fail because it's a professional game. You need consumer insights department, you need research people, you need a marketing function, you need sales team, you need integration of it with a COO, you need a chief technology officer. It goes on and on. And they're struggling, a lot of those people, because they're in these hard to manage old systems and infrastructures, and they're desperate to change and revitalize, spend billions of dollars on trying to upgrade, up level, and change their people and bring in leadership consultants and coaches. You don't need all that. Why? Why do they have to do that? Because they have to keep up with market trends to explain themselves to people who want to know how it's going. It's not how it really works, though. Not at the immutable level of life truth. We don't live that way in our modern society. Engage the people who lift you up is what works. Engage with. Engage with. You can't engage with people sitting in the audience and asking a question. You engage with people by being around them as an equal, and demanding that. We have a 5 values around this. If somebody starts lecturing you or telling you what to think or do, we have a reconciliation process, like in the inner development groups I've been in. You know, if a leader is doing that, the whole group gets on that. We're bringing this into business. This is unusual in our economy right now. Many talk this game, but for those who slow down, walk the talk, and find their people, the landscape shifts immediately in ways that are impossible to predict. And this is the point, is embracing uncertainty, how to thrive in the time of change, is all about allowing the landscape to shift immediately. It happens immediately. It cannot be predicted. It cannot be predicted. There's a huge market of people who are trying to force results to manifest using a lot of methods from a lot of great systems. laws of attraction, Napoleon Hill's work, Think and Grow Rich, Neville Goddard, all those things. That is not how it works. Is not how it works. You can't force these things. Success comes as you realize the power of being good at what you do. You realize the power of you being good at what you do. Now those things start to move. Then it starts to shift because the energy's flowing. That's what they were trying to talk about in those books. But in our modern economy where people are terrified about not having enough money, it's not going to work. And you can't free up that energy if you're trying to make it happen or you're trying to trick your mind to program your subconscious from your conscious mind. That's what they're trying to do. It's not going to work because it's not really what your vision is about and your purpose in the world. You're forcing it because you're afraid. You want security. I know because I did this. It didn't work. And then I worked through it and I figured out what worked. Success that then comes as you realize the power of being good at what you do, operating from integrity. Integrity means the inside matches the outside and connecting, not pushing yourself into the market by force. This is what's next in the world. And whether you join us on the Entrepreneur Experience Campus in local chapters and do these workshops and groups that and events that we're putting together, and we've launched and launching more, and or you do it somewhere else, this is what's now new and works today in the marketplace.